Hey friends, Dave here with Creation Sings. I'm coming to you today from the South Bay Bike Trail. This is an amazing bike trail that runs for about 20 miles all along the beaches of Los Angeles. And it's just a phenomenal place to ride. So many things to see. It's a beautiful day out here, beautiful sunny day. And one of the most exciting things for me is I'm riding my own bike. I've done this ride a few times with rental bikes and it's really not the same. It's so nice to have a bike that fits you, that has good gearing, that isn't rusty, that has a comfortable seat. If you're not a biker, it's kind of the equivalent of like driving your car that you know so well versus a rental car. Or sleeping in your own bed versus sleeping in a hotel bed. There's just something about owning it yourself rather than borrowing it from somebody else that makes the journey so much better and so much more exciting. And I think the analogy goes over to our faith as well. Because I find that oftentimes people settle for borrowing faith from someone else. Maybe their spouse, their parents, maybe a pastor. Rather than living out our own faith and our own relationship with God, we think, well, I don't really have time for that. Maybe I'm not all committed to that. So I will let them kind of carry that load for me. And hopefully God will look at me and allow me in based on their faith. But there's two great pitfalls with that problem when we do that. The first is that we miss so much on the journey. If I was riding a rental bike right now, this ride wouldn't be nearly as exciting. And you miss so much when you don't have your own relationship with God in your life. Things that God wants to do in you, things He wants to do through you, things He wants to show you every day, not through somebody else. And then secondly, at the end of the journey, there's going to be a reckoning. When I finish this bike ride, I'm going to put this bike back in my car and leave. If I had a rental bike and tried to do that, the bike owner would come running out and say, hey, wait a minute, that's not your bike. Your journey stops right here. Jesus told us that there will be a day when each of us, when we pass on from this life, will face God. And Jesus will be there and He will tell us, He will come to us and say either I knew you and I had a relationship with you and you had a relationship with me, so come in to heaven and enjoy eternity with my Father, or I didn't know you. And He's not going to say I knew your parents, I knew your pastor, he's a great guy, you can come into heaven. Or I knew your spouse and she's a wonderful Christian woman, so you can come into heaven. He's going to be looking at you and He's going to be looking at me. Friends, don't settle for borrowed faith. Do all that you can to make faith your own, and you will have so much more excitement in the journey and have that assurance that there's so much more left for you even at the end of the journey. This is Dave, hoping you have a God-inspired day.